You're at your goal weight. You finish the cut. Now what? It's all about maintenance. On today's episode, we're going to dive into how to maintain your results. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
This is the phase that I feel like nobody ever does.
And what is that phase?
Maintenance phase.
The maintenance.
Maintenance phase.
No, they don't.
I feel like the majority of people are either dieting or not dieting.
That's it. There's no in between.
No in between. When the reality is that maintenance is where you should be living the most often.
Facts.
For example, I lived in maintenance from January through July. I was in maintenance. And I successfully maintained during that time. Based on where my metabolism was and where my caloric threshold was, I stayed within that and I maintained for 7 months. That's where you should be most of the time, is in maintenance. Your ultimate goal should be that the majority of the time you're in maintenance. Occasionally you are building, and maybe occasionally, once a year you're in a cut to maybe during the build you put on a little bit of body fat, or during maintenance things started to spill over because life happened. Then you go into a little cut. But that's really what it should be. There should be 3 phases, and cutting should be the shortest one. Everybody's got that flipped around. I think most people spend most of the time in a cut, always cutting, always
chasing
fat loss.
Chasing till they burn out.
Whereas if you transition to maintenance after you've gone through a cut or gone through a fat loss or reached a goal, that is and really is the only way to maintain your results. You have to do it, or you're going to be in a constant yo-yo diet. You're going to gain and lose the same 10 pounds over and over again.
Over and over. Spin your wheels, and then you just want to give up. Eventually, it goes back in the other direction. You gain 10 pounds, 20 pounds. You start creeping way back in the other direction. Then you find yourself like, my God, how did I get here 50 pounds later?
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Now, we talked about reverse dieting a few weeks ago, and it's very similar. Like, you basically need to reverse diet. You need to add calories back in slowly until you chart your weight loss and that you see that you're no longer losing weight. But here is the tricky part about maintenance. Maintenance is you're towing the line, meaning you don't have the cushion of a caloric deficit anymore. So when you're in maintenance, any little slip up and you're going to start adding a little body fat. And that's why people creep back up.
And it doesn't happen fast.
No, it's very little.
Slow, gradual.
Very little, very little. And if you're not monitoring it, if you're just going by how your clothes fits or what you look like in the mirror, you won't notice because you are adjusting also, like what you're used to seeing, how you're used to feeling. You won't notice it. And so that's how it creeps back up. That's where all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I put on 15 pounds because it creeps back up. So maintenance, you actually have to be even more careful, to me, I believe, than in a cut. Because a cut, remember how a couple episodes ago, I talked to you about how if I set up a client on a deficit to lose 2 pounds a week, even when they're on track, they only lose 1 pound a week. And it's because even when they perceive themselves to be on track, they're making mistakes. Think about maintenance like that. Even if you perceive yourself to be in maintenance, you might be making smidgen little mistakes. And that smidgen little mistake will, over the course of a year, cause you to gain 10 to 15 pounds.
Easy.
Very easily.
It creeps. Sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
What happens is when you're in maintenance is you get loose.
Mm-hmm.
One too many trips to the pantry, one too many times in that cookie jar, snack jar, and it creeps. It adds up, compounds.
Yeah. That's why a good thing to do once you find that sweet spot where you're no longer losing weight, really focus, get back into focusing on your progressive overload training. Because you want to continue, even though it'll be slower because you're just in maintenance, it's still faster than when you were in a cut. You can put on lean muscle in maintenance, and that is what's going to help you keep the weight off, because in terms of the nutrition, you're towing the line.
Yeah.
So the putting on lean muscle over time will give you a little bit of cushion in that maintenance.
True.
I
so true.
also personally, when I'm in maintenance, I always consume tiny bit under that. I go a tiny deficit to account for the mistakes.
Slip ups.
Yeah.
Or extra snacking.
Yeah, I just account for it. I give myself a little bit of a cushion. Worst thing that happens is, oops, you lose a little bit of weight. It's easy to put like, okay, well, I have a little bit of cushion. I can have a little extra this week. And then I keep tabs on it. Keep tabs on it. Don't be afraid of the scale. If you've learned anything from us over these last few weeks, it was desensitize yourself to the scale. It's just data, and it'll keep you from having to go into a full-blown cut and that whole process again because you're staying on top of it. You're not letting it get too out of control, too far gone. You gain a couple pounds, easy to lose a couple pounds. No big deal. You can go to Disneyland, go on your vacation, come back, get right back to it. You could lose the weight. But when it starts to compound and it turns into 10, 12, 15 pounds, then it's a full-blown, you got to go into a little, a cut phase again and the whole process. One of the most important things that I ask my clients this often, when they're doing something that they say, oh, but this really works for me. I like to do this to lose weight. I always ask, is this something you can do forever? Because how you maintain weight loss, how you achieved weight loss is how you maintain it. You can't completely do something else. So if you use the keto diet to lose your weight, you can't suddenly come off keto and keep the weight off. It's not going to happen. You have to continue doing keto. If you lose weight on Ozempic and you come off of it, you're going to gain the weight back.
True.
You got to be like doing Ozempic forever, whether it's titrating the dose, changing dosage, lowering it, but you're doing that forever or you're going to gain it back. It's very rare. It's outliers of people that don't gain it back. Within 5 years, I think the statistics is just like astounding. It's like 97% people gain the weight back.
On Ozempic?
On Ozempic, on a GLP-1.
I wonder what it's like on keto because I'm one of those people who gained the weight back after I got off keto.
I feel like that's the same thing. They gain the weight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of let off because it's so restrictive, you kind of like let loose and go crazy. Mm-hmm. Everything you've been missing out on.
Yeah, and it's much easier to overeat carbs when you start eating carbs again. Much easier to overeat carbs. You don't have the satiety that you had with the keto diet. You were restricted, so you want them even more, and it's just a domino effect. You have to settle into like a lifestyle you could do forever. So for example, I'm on my road to 50, but whether I'm building, whether I'm cutting, whether I'm maintaining, I'm still targeting protein, trying to eat balanced meals, strength training 4 days a week, getting steps daily. The only thing that changes is my calorie intake changes. The number of steps I target changes. My intensity in the gym might change a little bit depending on what phase I'm in. But other than that, everything stays the same. So I talk to my clients about this a lot. I'm like, let's lock in on your habits so that when I need to adjust the levers, depending on what phase we put you into, it's just adjusting levers on existing habits. Makes it very easy. It's just like, let me just adjust the levers. Okay, you're already tracking calories and you're eating protein. I'm just going to adjust the lever. I'm going to tick the protein up. I'm going to tick the calories down. Okay, those levers are adjusted, but you already do that. So it's just a small tweak, right? You already walk daily and track your steps. I'm just going to look at the data and go, you know what? I want you to drop your steps. I'm just adjusting the lever. The habit's already there. That's why the most important thing is that you lock in on the habits so that when maintenance comes and I adjust, all I got to do is adjust the levers. I'm not taking Susie Q and saying, okay, you're not doing keto anymore. You're doing this diet now. And you got to reinvent the wheel and expect to like maintain the results you achieve doing something totally different. It's not going to happen.
No, totally different.
Think about it like lock in on the habits and then we just adjust the levers during maintenance. That's it. We tweak the levers based on the data outputs.
I like that. I never heard that one before. Just the levers. That's
how
a good
I think
one.
about it.
Yeah. That's all it is you're just fine tuning it. Mm-hmm. Everything's getting fine tuned.
Right.
That's all you're doing.
So my build, every week I adjusted, but not a lot. I adjusted the levers a little bit. A little bit of the levers, calories changed. Steps changed. I actually took my steps down in the build. Now the cut, calories are coming down. steps ticking up. Maintenance, same thing. Maintenance, I'll tick the steps back down. Why do I do that? Because you want to leave room. You want to leave some tools in the toolbox. I'm the queen of analogies. Some tools in the toolbox for when you need to cut again, there's room to go, right? So if I take my steps back down to like 8,000, when I go into another cut, I have a couple thousand steps that I can still add in to speed up the pace of that cut.
Yeah, that's smart.
You don't want to go balls to the wall all the time, because then where do you go if you need to take it up a notch? There's no notches. You ran out of room. The levers are maxed.
They're maxed.
You don't want to max the levers.
That's the same thing. People who go way too low on caloric deficits, like you're maxed out down there.
Right.
There's nowhere to go.
Right.
Next level is starvation. You're not going to handle that. You will break.
Maintenance is important. Not only is maintenance important after a fat loss phase, learning how to find your maintenance at any time, even if you want to go into a cut, you first should find your maintenance before you even go into the cut. Otherwise, you're shooting in the dark. You don't really know.
No.
So what's the cut? How do you know you're in I'm in a caloric deficit. Well, how do you know? Did you take a period of time to figure out what your maintenance is? No. I just read a magazine and told me 1,200 calories. Okay, cool. You got 30 pounds to lose. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. 1,200 calories. What are you going to do when you stall? There's no room to go. You're 1,200 calories. You're walking 10,000 steps a day. What are you going to do when you lose 10 pounds and the scale won't move anymore? There's nowhere to go. You're going to 12,000 steps and 1,000 calories. Then 14,000 steps and 800 calories. Good luck. No. You're going to drop dead.
Yeah. You're going to have all kinds of everything under the sun wrong with your hormones. And, your organs too. You got to be careful playing around with that.
So you have to find maintenance. And how do you find maintenance is you track your calories, track your weight, see what the body's doing, track your waist measurement. And whatever volume of food you're taking in on average over the course of the week, at the point in which your weight stabilizes and your waist measurement stabilizes, that's your maintenance. You have to control the variables, though. That's why it's important to kind of like stick to whatever your step goal is. Your maintenance step goal should be something you can maintain forever. This is me. I just am a person that's going to walk 8,000 steps a day forever. Then that's kind of like your output for, that's how a good way to know that you're not going to have big fluctuations if you keep your steps around the same. That way it's easier to lock in on what those maintenance calories really are. If your steps are all over the place, your maintenance calories are going to be fluctuating more. So that helps you.
And you find a good balance too. You find a comfortable balance in life when you're in maintenance. Mm-hmm. You're not always chasing. You don't want to always chase. And that's the problem with people. They're always chasing.
Yeah, and you have to redefine success when you're in maintenance. This is another thing. People spent so much time, even when you were building, when you were cutting, there was something you were chasing. In maintenance, it's kind of like a little, what now?
So it can get a little boring.
Yeah, so you have to redefine success. You have to create, like some of the things that I might attempt in maintenance, like to refocus my goals. Developing strength in pull-ups, like getting my pull-ups without assistance, something I could work on. Flexibility, like new goals to challenge myself to keep it exciting, but that aren't based on getting smaller, getting bigger muscles, changing a number on the scale. They're performance-based goals. And I think it's important to shift to have those goals. Otherwise, you could have that like, it's kind of like people get depressed after their wedding or depressed after a big show or a big goal because it's like, God, now what? Fighters, when they like win a big fight, don't they kind of get depressed sometimes?
They do. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's the truth. They win the belt. They're on top of the world. They're on a high, and then the high goes down. The dopamine rush, whatever you want to call it, is done.
It's interesting because I think that maintenance is actually like a unicorn that everybody wants to get to, but nobody ever quite gets there.
No. It's always one or the other.
Yeah.
Always. You're so right.
It's
so
like,
true.
It's like overcorrecting all the time.
And nobody taught us that back then. Like, we both have had success losing weight. We both had success at getting lean. But somehow you're like, all right, I'm here. Now what? Mm-hmm. Stay here. Do I go up?
Yeah.
It is tricky. It's a mind F because it is tricky.
Yeah, you crave. I know that when I was in maintenance, I knew I needed to just kind of I didn't want to gain weight, but I wasn't willing to commit to any kind of goal or anything during our transition phase this past year. Just so much going on. So my goal for myself was, I just want to hold it together, stay in maintenance, and then once I get settled, I'm going to create some new goals. That was my decision, my desire.
Yeah.
I was able to ultimately do that, but I did feel that feeling of kind of like, I was kind of like ho hum, like I'm not really working on anything. This is boring. Like I feel like bored,
Yeah.
like because I'm not working on anything meaningful, you know.
You
So I was itching for it. But maybe it's important to have that period of time where you get to get excited about new goals again. Maybe there is some benefit to not having a goal for a little while, and then when you do have one, you get excited again. Basically, what I did.
That's true. We always have to have something to look forward to.
Yeah. So I didn't have one for a while. I was focused. My efforts were focused elsewhere, on moving and all of that. But I made sure that I didn't sabotage myself in the process. Sometimes when people change their focus, like, oh, it's not fitness based right now, so they throw everything out they learned out the window, and they go backwards in that department. Instead, I just put a pin in that.
Yeah.
I put a pin in that. I stayed the same. My weight stayed stable. It felt pretty good. And then I focused my goals on other things, getting us all set up and organized and all of that. And then when I came back to myself and changed my goals, I was in a really good starting place. Like, okay, like I'm good. I'm where I left off. I didn't do some damage.
Yeah.
So now, I was able to maintain, and now I changed my goals. But I was in a period of maintenance for quite a while. I was in a good, healthy spot because I was in maintenance. I didn't try to go into a build from a cut.
And you enjoyed yourself too in maintenance.
I did.
So
I did.
It's living. You were living the right way. You weren't restricting yourself. You didn't feel guilty of the things you ate.
No, I had more balance, and I was mindful though to make sure that my weight wasn't creeping up.
And when we're living in Big Bear, we still made it a point to every Saturday go get donuts.
We did. We did it here when we moved too.
We did.
For a while.
We just didn't go overboard.
No, just two.
Like we got a good balance of we found our balance.
Yeah.
And then it also, by doing that, we got freedom out of our head, like out of prison. Like we didn't need to order a dozen donuts like our old selves would want to. Because we know we'll eat them all between you and I. That was dangerous.
Dangerous.
I can't believe I used to do that. Go get a dozen, bring them home like that. Set us up for failure.
I know. Terrible. So for me, I'm looking forward to, so my plan is in a month from now, I'll be done with my cut. And then I will take about a month or so to reverse diet. And then, so February, I'll be reversing. In March, I should be kind of like living in maintenance. And we go to Miami, I'll be in maintenance, maintaining for a while.
Yeah. Cruising. That's the whole point. You want to get to a place where you're get to enjoy yourself. Maintenance isn't hard. And, it's a balance. You can go out and eat with your family, not always worried about, can I eat this? Or is this too many calories? Or,
Yeah, and
you're
be
so worried.
smart about it. Utilize maintenance to your benefit too. Like, for example, I will then go into maintenance so that by the time I go to Miami, I'm in maintenance. My calories are higher. My body is accepting more calories. That means I can have more flexibility on my trip. The biggest mistake people make is they go on big cuts before like a trip so that they can overindulge on their trip.
Yep.
Your body is primed to store fat. But you're going to go from low calories to high calories. You're going to do a lot more damage in a little period of time. You're better off knowing that, okay, if I want to indulge on X trip or this holiday, I should reverse diet, get to maintenance by then. So once I'm there and I want to indulge, I'm at higher calories. Don't go from low to high, because what happens, your body's just going to freak out and store it. Because remember, it's like going in low power mode. You can't just switch it on and then power on all the systems. No. If you don't have the right little workers ready to do.
No, you can't do
utilize
that.
The calories.
And everybody does that. They lose weight for a vacation, a trip, something like that, and all of a sudden they start craving everything under the sun.
And they go crazy. It's not the best method.
No, I like that. That's what I'm gonna do too. Is go into maintenance.
Yeah, I'm going to maintenance. Well, I'm gonna reverse in February, and then I'll be in maintenance by March.
You can enjoy yourself too. You can enjoy yourself and be cruising and not be felt like you're so restricted. So less likely of you to go overboard. Because a lot of times when you're doing so low calories, you're restricting yourself on a lot of things.
I feel like maintenance for me is going to be somewhere around like 2,200 calories.
That's going to be easy, huh? For you to maintain.
That's what's going to be maintenance.
That's a lot of room. Because you literally could have 3 meals, 600 calories each, 1,800, and you have 300 calories left for like your snacks.
I know, and a 600 calorie meal is kind of my capacity for a meal. 600. I noticed that if I push past 600 calories in a meal, I feel that fullness. I don't like that feeling anymore. I used to crave that fullness. I don't like that. I've learned to stop eating at about 80%.
Yeah.
When I'm 80%, that's when I stop eating. That's why during my build, I had to start eating early because the large meals, I tried. You play around with things. The large meals, 1,000-calorie meals were too much. I did not feel good.
Feel sick.
I feel much better with 3 smaller meals and then my snacks on the morning snack and an evening snack. And that's what worked better for me. And I feel like the body is more efficient at partitioning out the nutrients and utilizing the calories when you break it up a little bit. When you overstuff the machine, you just kind of like, it's too much all at once.
Feel gross.
Mm-hmm. So I think that the real lesson here is the real masters in this process master maintenance, because maintenance is the one. It's like the dark horse that no one saw coming. That's the one that you need to master. Maintenance. Everyone's chasing fat loss or muscle building.
Yep.
But maintenance is like the unicorn that is actually what people should learn to do, and nobody ever gets there.
Yeah, because if I could stay, let's just say you get where you want to be. Like, let's just say you get to 15% body fat, whatever, and I get to like 10 or less, and then I could stay there in maintenance and not be hungry or starving, and I feel like I'm living, I'm good, I'm balanced. That's
because you're there. So you lock it in by locking in on what maintenance is to stay there. Because maintaining means you maintain the current physique, right? So if you achieve the physique that you want and then you learn how to maintain it, that's the secret sauce that nobody does.
Nope.
Nobody does it.
They don't.
They don't master that. You got to master maintenance. That's the lesson here. Learn to master maintenance, and then you're now having balance, enjoying your life, enjoying the foods you love, and walking around looking like you want to look, like someone who works out, like someone who's fit, and lean, and that's the goal. That's my whole goal going into my road to 50, and that is what I am not stopping until I reach that, maintaining at my physique that I want for myself, and that's what I'm going to do.
And not scared to lose it. That's the best part about it.
No, exactly. Not scared to like hold on to it, not like grasping at it.
Yes, exactly. That's another battle in itself.
Oh, I love this. I wrote down this quote. Maintenance is proof that you own the lifestyle, not just the short-term result.
That's good. I like that.
Maintenance means you own this. You are this. This is you.
You have mastered it. You became a Jedi in this game. You should be proud of yourself, because it's very hard to achieve this level. It's like a video game. You got to the top. Now you're like, ooh, we made it. You mastered yourself. No one knows how to master themselves.
No. All right, you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.